There are over 550 million small to medium holder farmers globally that produce over 90% of our food, and nearly all of them are underserved by the market and the government due to a lack of data. Now, this leads to low farm productivity and a strain on our world's natural resources. I'm Abhi Bhargava, CEO and co-founder of Farmhand, where we're bringing data-driven solutions to agri-ecosystems globally. So Farmhand works at the energy, water, food nexus, where growing consumption coupled with climate risk are increasing energy and water needs in a vicious cycle that is leading to higher emissions and increasing water scarcity. Boosting agriculture sustainability must, however, boost agricultural productivity in parallel, as many of the small medium holder farmers are in economic distress right now. So let's look at an example. Imagine Ram and Sita. Ram and Sita have 4 children and are growing sugarcane on 5 acres of land in Tamil Nadu in South India for their aggregator EID Perry. Now, irrigation mismanagement coupled with soil degradation and other on-farm risks reduces farm productivity. Now, EID Perry, who's their aggregator, looks to support their farmer, but lacks data, and due to the high costs of data collection, means that they're unable to assist at the right way or at the right time. They have an underutilized processing plant and are unable to link the farmers to the right solutions for their farm. With unsustainable income, debt, and increasing worry about the local water supply, Ram and Sita are considering moving away from farming and going to the city. This is the reality for millions. So Farmhand provides right time, right volume, precision irrigation, and ecosystem connectivity for the farmer. It provides unprecedented data analytics to the aggregator and opens up new markets for the agri-ecosystem players. So we use a free user interface for the farmer and aggregator, and we collect farm-level data, and we couple that with remote sensed and public data. We then provide software and advice and analytics to the farmer and aggregator, and also provide our Internet of Things automatic irrigation system for irrigation control. The aggregator is then linked with insights customized for their specific farm, their supply chain, geography, and their farmer and the aggregator are both linked with agri-input suppliers that can provide useful products. So what does this mean for Ram and Sita? Well, efficient irrigation leads to a 30% increase in yield with a 60% reduction in energy and water consumption and a 40% reduction in labor. The aggregator, EID Perry, who's Farmhand's client, gets customized alerts that advise on specific farms situations. The one-off upfront cost is paid and split between the aggregator and the farmer, and they both pay a software fee annually. Now, if we only look at the value created for the farmer through the yield increase, we estimate that over the 10-year product lifespan, we're increasing profits up to 2 times their current annual profit. So where are we now? So Farmhand, we've deployed automatic irrigation systems on 40 farms, and we have 160 more in the pipeline for next year. We have interest from over 14 aggregators that have over 60 million affiliated farmers, providing significant pathways to scale. Organizations include IFCO, who's the largest fertilizer company in India, and Lorenz, who are a market-leading solar pumping company. Now, our target market is characterized by the Internet of Things and satellite insights for agriculture. We've specifically looked at aggregator-affiliated farmers that are growing 9 key crops that we've identified as early adopter crops for our technology. In 2025, we expect our total available market to grow to 80 billion pounds. Our team is split between strategy and development happening in Scotland and a regional operations team in South India. We have myself, who's a development economist, and I love to get my hands dirty on the field and engage in field work. We have Andrew, who's the irrigation specialist, and we have David, our CTO, who's a controls and optimization expert, who has led IoT deployments in blue chips as well as startups. We also have Gurmeet, who's leading operations in India, who's been an ex-senior VP in Agritech companies and has led operations teams of over 25 people. So currently, We are aiming to reach over 2 million farmers by 2026 through hardware and software sales. Our sales in the early years will be hardware focused as we gather data from the field, and then our revenue will start to scale through software sales. We look to break even in 2024 and have a revenue of £50 million by 2026. So we're seeking £1.25 million of funding at a $3.25 million pre-money valuation to help fulfill our sales orders that we have with existing clients, but also extend our data analytics products to the wider agri ecosystem. It is clear that with increased mobile phone usage and connectivity in the poorest of areas, alongside widening inequality and resource concerns, precision agriculture is not only possible, but absolutely necessary right now. Farmhand's extremely excited to get to speak to you, and hopefully we meet at the virtual stand and we look to work together.
Hi, Abby. Thanks very much for representing the Agritech and precision farming sector with Farmhand today. Questions coming in all the time. Huge interest in what you've been saying. Question from John Seal. Who are your main competitors that are already doing this?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we can look at other Internet of Things controller companies out there, as well as satellite data analytics companies as our competitors. However, we are approaching the market quite differently to them. So the satellite companies are looking at larger farms. They're looking at 100-acre plus to look at what insights can be derived from satellite. And IoT systems out there are largely using soil moisture sensors to detect when irrigation is needed for the farm. Now, there's two problems with both of those approaches. One, the satellite approach does not work for the small to medium holder farmer between 1 to 20 acres, because you cannot get enough precision from satellites at that level, at this stage, without having in situ data. Now, the second point for IoT irrigation controllers is they're using soil moisture sensors in a very sensor-led approach. And this, again, does not work in the microclimates that we deal with and the topography, because there's so much variability in even 5 acres, and the cost of the soil moisture sensors and the technical complexity is not viable for the farmers. So we use AI, machine learning, big data to make sure that we're getting as much information we can from the farm, from satellites, from our IoT system, to create a low-cost solution that works throughout the value chain at the cost that is affordable for the farmer and the aggregators.
Okay, thank you. Just time for one more quick question from Corbchide Pritasorn. From farmer perspective, what's the payback period for your customers?
Yeah. Okay. So let's take the example of a sugarcane farmer, the 5-acre sugarcane farmer. This is a quintessential farmer customer type that we're dealing with. With the hardware, you're able to pay back the hardware within one crop cycle, which is 1 year for a sugarcane farmer. For tomato farmers, it may be 2 crop cycles, but they have a 4-month crop cycle. So you're talking about 8 months repayment period. Now, there's an annual software cost for the app, as well as the analytics for the aggregator. And that we have planned out, and that will also be paid back in another crop cycle henceforward. So the 10-year cost is essentially paid back in a year to 2 years, really, depending on the crop.
Thank you very much, Abby, for your presentation. Excellent.
Thank you so much.